Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft Season 6. Today we're starting things off at home, in safety, on my island, and it feels really good. So in the last episode I decided that it was time to come back to the base because we haven't done anything here in so long. Well, that's at least what it feels like. One of the things that tells me that I haven't done any base work in a while is just the state of my tools, the state of my inventories, and the state of like my storage. Everything is pretty neglected at this point in time. Before I start recording today's video, I was thinking about what to do around the base, because there are a lot of things to do. Like, for example, we need to finish up some of the builds. This building here is very neglected. We need to add in the roads for this place. I mean, just take a look at this. In my opinion, this is looking really cool, but I do want to have like this wasteland feel and more of the terraforming around. I also need a roof on this building. Although I gotta say, it looks pretty cool open like this. I don't hate it, but it looks a little bit unfinished. There are also a bunch of cleanup jobs, like rails that needs to be taken down. This thing where I used name tags for my villagers, etc. But then I decided, instead of doing any of the things that I should do, I think I want to start a new project. Yep, a new project. And according to my plans and calculations in my brain, this one's going to be a bit mega. This one is going to be a bit mega. You see, what I want to do is essentially create a redstone factory. And this is with the knowledge that my good friend, Good Times with Scar, has just finalized a redstone factory. And it may have inspired me a little bit. That and the fact that I recently had to refill all of my redstone components, and it's just something that by default is quite a hassle to do, isn't it? I mean, just think about it. Crafting up comparators requires smooth stone and torches, which requires sticks, and repeaters require smooth stone and pistons, cobblestone, and planks, and slime balls to make them sticky. Not to talk about dispensers, which, you know, requires a bow and string and sticks, and hoppers with planks and chests, and it's a bit of like a grind. Something that I usually do is I grab all of my resources and I try to craft up in bulk, kind of like I've done here. But I thought it would be really fun and really good, and a really fun challenge to try and automate that process a little bit. Maybe not automate it as much as making it as simple as possible for me to craft up bulk items. Now, I already have the redstone base material, the redstone dust, in a very easy matter. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is, considering the emeralds are completely free with the, I don't want to call it a scam, but the book trade of doom. Why is False doing an evil smiley? Hello? I mean, she is a grayskin, and I don't think she's a secret bro. But then again, some comments said that she was, so I'm not entirely sure. No, I'm not gonna start panic. I'm not gonna start panicking today. This I'm supposed to be in my base because I don't want to have to worry about dying with every step that I take on the Hermitcraft server. Oh, now I'm starting to stress out over the fact that there may be danger times for me, even here on the island. It looks so peaceful though, and it feels so peaceful. Anyway, my point is that to craft up redstone components, you need a lot of materials, and usually those materials are spread across chests in different areas of the base, etc. I want to bring it all together, and possibly if possible, I want to make a auto crafting machine that sends me all the stuff. Say, for example, I pull a lever if I want to craft repeaters, and it sends me smooth stone and torches and dust, and then I can just like click my inventory and put it together. So the first thing I want to do is put down a few signs. I think this is it. I think these are all the components required to create any redstone component. Let's just try this out. So repeater requires stone, it requires sticks, it requires redstone, of course, and that is it. Yeah. Now this is in addition to redstone dust, by the way. I haven't forgotten about the most important ingredient. And here's another very interesting thing. Glowstone we can actually purchase from the villagers. Now, there are a few of the raw materials that I will want to make farms for over at the base. For example, I want to make a new slime farm. I probably want to make an iron farm as well. And cobblestone. Yeah, cobblestone. Yeah, I've neglected making a cobblestone farm not long ago and calling it useless. And I guess I was wrong. Yeah, I guess I owe Mumbo an apology. Sorry, Mumbo. Cobblestone is useful. We'll get to a cobblestone generator at some point, but the first thing we gotta do is lay down the foundation, and I have to figure out just how this is supposed to work, because at the moment it's all really just thoughts in my head, and I don't even know what is possible and how good we can make a factory that makes the redstone. I mean, it should be possible. It should be possible. So this is sort of what I'm picturing for the warehouse part that's gonna hold all of these items. And this is 9 items in total, but we also want to store redstone torches. Now, redstone torches is going to be something that we also craft, obviously, but since they are part of so many things like repeaters and comparators, and that's it. That's it, but they're still part of other things. I feel like we should definitely store them. Now, I got my 10 planned modules laid out. So we got iron ingots, glowstone dust, quartz, etc., all laid out. The only thing that I don't have that's actually also part of it is bows. But I think it's better to not keep them in a storage thing, and instead when we push a button for dispenser, if we could make it that way, we would get the equivalent string that we need to make like a stack of dispensers. I mean, I'm just thinking about how we're gonna program this thing with redstone to send the correct items. It's gonna be really tricky. The one thing that I need to invent, that I don't know if it's even possible if we want to make this an auto crafting station, is a silo that can keep stock of, or that can keep track of how much we have, but also be able to shoot the items out. So we need a silo that uses refillable droppers. I did say that this is going to be a challenge, but let's head over to my test world and try a few different ideas that I have in my brain. Okay, so in hindsight, I should have gone into my test world immediately to explain what it is I'm actually trying to do, because I've just watched back my video so far and I'm sorry, it's a little bit confusing, but just bear with me. This is a lot easier to explain in a creative test world. So I want to have a panel that looks something like this with all the different redstone components, and if I click repeater, the system should send out the components I need to craft a stack of repeaters, or 5 stacks, I don't know, or 10 stacks, depending on how we build it. Now, the tricky thing, this would represent the silos that I'm currently creating on the Hermitcraft server, and the tricky thing is that we cannot make it using chests. So we can't make like a standard chest controlled silo. We need to have droppers that can shoot out items, but we also need to be able to restock the droppers, and we need to be able to compare so that we know how much stock we have. I mean, already this is sounding pretty tricky, isn't it? I just got an idea. Because we should have equal amount in every dropper because of the loading system with the rails, we should be able to just compare one dropper and then use this redstone power and link it up to the lamps. Right? It shouldn't be harder than that, should it? It's working! It's actually working! That is not complicated at all. We just need to compare one dropper. As long as we drop, I mean, I'm super excited about this. It's such a simple thing, but it's one of those things that just you think about a lot and you're like, it's probably impossible, and then you just start playing around with it and it's simpler than you thought. It's such a good feeling when that happens. And in case you want to build one of these towers yourself that compares anything, this is the way I do it. So very simply, you just alternate slabs going upwards, and on the left hand side you have a comparator, and on the other side you have a redstone dust block. That means, or redstone dust thing. That means that this is always going to be one less power than this, and that way you can also stack it right next to each other, not a problem. And then your redstone signal comes from the bottom into this very block here, and that is your redstone power. Now this is a bit silly. I've just spent about 45 minutes making what should have been the easiest part of this. the loading mechanism. But this seems to be working, so this minecart will be going back and forth as long as it is filled with redstone. It's controlled with that comparator over there that unlocks that fence post and then lets the minecart go. It has a chest directly above it, which is great because then it can suck the redstone really quickly. So if we look here, you can see it sucks the redstone out super quickly, and then it goes again. And now if I would empty this chest, it should just stop. Yeah. And it should just be locked in place. This is now the next day, and I ended up spending all night, last night, over 7 hours in my creative test world, trying to figure out the last few bits for this build. And yeah, there are still some things that I haven't solved, but I'm just gonna start building this thing here on the Hermitcraft server, and we'll kind of see what issues we run into, because I think the main thing that I really want this to be is a storage facility for all the redstone components. The problem I ran into is when it comes to sending different amount of items per different item cells different times. So it's not just that the slime balls, or let's say the stone one, will always have to send 4 stacks. Sometimes I want 1 stack, sometimes I want 3 stacks, etc. And yeah, that just I couldn't solve it. But like I said, I'm just gonna keep building and at least get the storage module up and the loading of the items. And can I just say that this is looking mega, isn't it? I don't know what it is with stacking redstone lights on top of each other, but it looks really cool. It looks really cool. So now I gotta decide the design for this thing. And I've sort of just used this sandstone, which is a little bit boring, I guess. Do I want to use some kind of wood here, maybe? Some stripped logs? Oh my goodness! Keralis blew up! RIP! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! So who's left now in Demise? I know that Cleo is also dead, and I think TFC died. Is it me, Mumbo, and B-Dubs? Is it 3 bros left? Anyway, I gotta get a lot of wood. I want to try this thing with wood logs. And I don't think I use this this tree farm enough, to be honest. I don't know why, but yeah, it's very seldom I use this. Now that Keralis has demised as well, and is a grayskin that looks hilarious. I'm sorry, Keralis, I was vouching for you. But now that he is also demised, I feel like it's time we probably head back a little bit later to the Dragon Bro cave and see if we can update the alignments of heads. I've just completed the very first module with the comparators of the Tower of the Redstone Torches, and now I'm placing in the observers that are going to be powering these droppers. And I'm not sure if I actually need an observer on this one. I don't, like, logically I shouldn't need that. I guess I should have tested that out, because that's kind of a simple thing. But anyway, as opposed to the creative test one, I'm using 9 droppers instead of 8, so that will allow me to get a full crafting bench worth of inventory from one single iteration. And that actually is going to be a little bit helpful, because I also then need something that I hadn't planned out for, an item stream that will take the items that I order from that item stream into wherever I want them to plop up, which will probably be right down the center. Was that actually the center block that I broke there? It was. I think it was. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This build is no small project. This is taking a really long time. But if I do that and that is the last of the clocks and the last of the module installed on this side of the warehouse. And I think, although I haven't tested it, I just realized I built all of this without testing it a single time, but I think that is all the redstone done for these modules. Now the next thing I gotta figure out is the timing, and the longer we let this clock run, the more items will be shot out and received over at the center or wherever I want it in the factory. At the moment, with a pulse extender, if I can stand up here, with a pulse extender and a wooden button, which is important because it's double the ticks, this runs for this long, which generates, I think, something around 3.5 stacks of redstone. 2.5, almost perfect 2.5 stacks of redstone. So I definitely want longer than that for most things. I'm thinking of programming all the used stuff like cobblestone and smooth stone and planks Maybe I configure it to 3 for all of them. Or maybe we configure it 4 for cobblestone and 3 for everything else. Then if I need more than 3, I'll have to click the button several times. I think that's a good compromise. Let's also make sure that this module works. So if I send redstone in there, that should start sending it back and forth. Had to make a little bit of an adjustment on the rails and had to pull it 1 block further back, because otherwise this hopper only got half of the drops, because this detector rail would lock it. Things like that is what makes a redstone project take time. Things like the small minor bugs that you have to iron out. I'm not gonna lie, my brain is completely fried and my voice is even starting to give up. I've gotten a bit of a cold once again, but I've been at this for now 15 hours and I am really tired. I need a little bit of a break. I need a little bit of a break from this, and I thought what we could do is go back to the mainland and have a look at the new Dragon Bros quarter, the untrappable Dragon Bros quarter, and realign the heads, because, well, Keralis is a grayskin. Keralis is a grayskin. I've double checked. Human Cleo, previously known as Zombert Cleo, is also a grayskin, and so is TFC. I think at least that's what my Twitter said. It's always scary to fly back to the mainland. I made it though, and was it around what corner? What corner was it that I built the new headquarters? We still haven't had a proper meeting or anything. There it is. Well. Take a look at that. Rails, a minecart going around with TNT in it. This has been trapped. Which, I mean, I did say that there may be potential trapping. The trick is to make it not visible. And I assume I can click this button. Does look like I can. Knowing Cubfan though, who's the usual suspect here, he has used some timing mechanics. There is nothing underneath that pressure plate either. So that's interesting. Okay. This is hilarious and scary. I gotta look out for triggers here. Because I'm right in believing that this can't possibly have a redstone connection anywhere, right? Yeah. If it did, genius. But it doesn't look like it, so I should be fine walking in. Just gotta make sure I don't hit a string. Scariest walk of my life right now. Now I'm gonna say that this doesn't seem to have a trigger, which makes me believe that it's a distraction, which is one way to trap this. So, is there anything behind the water anywhere? If I break this, oh, that's a lot of minecarts with TNT in there. Oh, how did that trigger it? How did that trigger it? What? I'm so confused. How did me breaking the minecarts trigger them? Doesn't make any sense. There's nothing on top here. Well? Are we okay? Is that made me jump? That made me jump! I think the room did exactly what it's designed to do. It showed me that there's a trap, it warned me about it, and because of all the water, it didn't cause that much damage. I mean, it looks worse than it is, to be honest. The table is almost intact. It did blow up the bro wall though. It totally blew up the bro wall. No other wall, like we even got the secure or secret bro over there. But I guess I can do this. Human Cleo, Keralis, and TFC to the grayskin wall. Now that means that we got Doc M, Joe Hills, me, Mambo, and B-Double-O left in the game. Is that true? Is that it? Oh my goodness. And they tried to get me. They tried to get me once again. But a Dragon Bro doesn't blow up. I mean, Grian did. Grian did blow up, but, I mean, iskall doesn't blow up. Yes, iskall doesn't blow up. Dragon Bros, does whatever a Dragon Bro does. Don't blow up, no we won't, 'cause we're bros, Dragon Bros. You are child, we are the Dragon Bros. It ain't bro to blow up a bro's bros. Oh, I'm going a little bit crazy here, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that's all the glass I have as well. Yeah, the repairs the repairs have started at least. That's good. I can't believe that the minecarts actually blew up, and I'm so happy that this thing actually worked. I'd call that great success, honestly. I mean, look at the table. It's like nothing ever happened. Sort of. It needs a little bit more repair. What has happened here? The Sahara window almost killed me because I've been so used to flying into the creeper hole. Looks like it's been moved to here. And what what in the world is this? That looks like it's like a flowchart. Architect collecting golden carrots, quartz block bricks, sand with Iskall's head, observers with Mambo's head. Oh, that's right. Mambo did stock observers. Oh, I did see this. I haven't shown it in a video. Absolutely hilarious. I guess this is Grian's doing. And that is looking, that's actually looking really mega. I really like it. That being said though, we have a lot of things to still stock. And I guess I should stock most of these things like bone blocks, string, ice, rockets are all things that I have farms for. And also redstone. I can definitely stock redstone as well though. So, yeah, Sahara stocking is still underway. I think with the redstone factory, it's going to be a lot easier. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. As you can probably hear, my voice is starting to give up and I'm having mega coughs at the moment. So, I'm going to go and lay down. But I really do hope that you've enjoyed the video. If you did, do hit the like button down below. And if you're brand new, consider subscribing. And I'll see you dudes in the next episode.